Welcome to Getting Back Up, where grief meets growth.
Two men, two fathers, and one shared journey of rebuilding.
We're talking about life after cancer, love, loss, and everything no one tells you. I'm David McClain.
And I'm Jamal Jones.
And we welcome you to Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death podcast. Jamal, this is interesting because I caught myself the other day, man.
Oh,
I was genuinely laughing the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, an experience I can recall. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it stopped me. It was kind of a mid laugh. I kind of said to myself, "Can I be doing this?"
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Is it time?
That's when it hits you, and you kind of contemplate switching up real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, not sure if this is the the angle you should be going right now.
Right. How much time from the passing of the late wife can you feel joy and happiness again? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about a lot of men. They won't say it out loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's that, and we've talked about this before in a previous show about how that guilt presents itself. So this one is how that guilt continues to pop back up, and in some cases kind of holds you back from feeling okay again.
Yeah, we want to have a clear understanding today of this feeling that it's not stopping life, but it's continuing to live. And you're actually starting to live again, and the indications are there.
Yeah.
And don't hold back on that. So what I want to kind of get into is, we have a couple of stories that we're gonna, as we normally do, we'll share with you today. But it wasn't anything really big, and I think that's something that the listeners have to understand. It can be these very small moments. And it could be normal conversation, just kind of good energy, and that feels normal again. And then you forget for a second, and then you kind of move on and kind of allow that to happen.
Yeah, and that's the part, like you can forget that going through those moments, you can forget that having those feelings of progress.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's actually healthy. Like, you're supposed to go through that. But a lot of times we get stuck in that moment, like, ooh, back to your point earlier, it's too soon. It might be too soon.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's not a linear thing.
Yeah.
It's not specific steps, and then, I can't feel this way on the calendar. I'm supposed to be feeling a certain way in 8 months, not now or whatever. So I think that's really something to think about.
Yeah. So, like, you felt like you jumped ahead in that process.
Yeah.
Process a little bit.
Yeah, I felt a little different. I think I was supposed to maybe feel a certain way, and I'm a different place emotionally. So, yeah.
I get that. And I'm going to jump in. So I had kind of two stories on this one. One, I'll kind of like do kind of, I would say immediately after, but kind of in the recency of the loss. And then the second one is just like where we are today, you still feel it, and you still question.
8 years later, after losing James.
Yeah, almost 9 years later.
Yeah.
It's like you still go through those moments. You're like, wait, is it? So, like, the first one was probably 4 or 5 months after she passed away. I remember Trevor Noah had come to Austin. Ironically, I got my T-shirt on. and he'd come into town, and he this was probably earlier in his career, before he kind of popped off to where he is now. But, I saw some tickets. This is when you get his tickets for like $80-something. Right now.
That's a deal?
That was good. That was, now if you could get them for like $300, you're lucky.
Okay.
So, I got some good tickets, and I bought two, because you always buy two.
Yeah.
And
you take somebody.
Somebody's going to go. So at the time I invited my sister-in-law, so she decides to go, and we get there, and you go through the parking, and it's just going through the motions, all the stuff, this usual stuff you do, and we go to the show, and they got the warm-up act. I don't remember who it was, but I'm sure it was funny.
Yeah.
And it's weather's nice outside. It's kind of like a late fall, probably early winter day. And we get to, Trevor Noah comes out, and man, like, he's just killing it.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he is just killing the typical Trevor Noah
His
comedic delivery,
Yeah.
way he tells stories, and I am in this moment, and I am just truly enjoying it. Not like maybe when I got there was a split second where I was just like, man, like, I used to do these trips, do these shows with Janice.
Yeah.
But now, this is again a few months later. I'm, no problem. You get to the show, and the whole show goes by. We finish, we're leaving, and we're just, I mean,
And did you have like the laugh where you were?
oh my gosh, I'm tears, like laughing tears.
You were fully involved in the show.
I was all in.
Okay.
And just completely, like, in the moment, completely enjoying the show, enjoying laughing with my sister-in-law. The crowd is like feeling it, so no negative energy anywhere. And it was just like a really good experience. And we're leaving, walking down the hall, we're recalling moments and still laughing, and
Those are the best.
oh my gosh, it's like we're outside now, and we're trying to recall with it, and I hear somebody call me, Jamal, and I'm like, who's calling me? And I see a coworker friend who, I hadn't seen probably in a little while. He's like, hey, how are you? And he's looking at my sister-in-law, and I'm like, wait, isn't thinking something? Right? And I'm like, oh shoot. And he's looking at me like, kind of like, who this? But it was in that, it's in the split second, and I'm probably overanalyzing this for sure. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hey, this is my sister-in-law, and whatever, and my niece and nephew. And I'm explaining, just doing the intro thing. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, I wonder if he's thinking, is this too soon? Is this too soon for me to go to a comedy show and laugh? Is this too soon for me to, for the split second that he may have thought this was somebody else?
Yeah.
Some other relationship. Is it too soon? And you start second guessing all of these things. And I did. And that actually made me pause and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be out in public having fun. Right? Like, forget, the Netflix, binge watching comedy by myself in the living room when the kids are asleep, and find those quiet moments to laugh. But I shouldn't even be doing this publicly right now.
Public, right.
And that was like an early moment for me where I was just like, man, like, you second guess. Is it okay for me to find ways to be happy?
Did you stay in that moment of?
I didn't stay long, but it definitely made me feel awkward.
Okay.
Right, like as me and my sister-in-law like walked to the car, and like I was very conscious. Like now I'm like, man, all right, well, it was a good show, but I'm gonna I was
But
over.
Shouldn't have enjoyed it
Shouldn't have
as much.
Yeah,
as you did.
And the reality is, I should have.
Yeah,
right. It's okay, right. But that was a part there, and then more recently, like, so now I'm thinking even like 8 years later.
Yeah,
almost 9 years later. There are days after she's passed, right? There are days I've moved forward. The kids have moved forward. We've all found our ways of grieving and going through this process, and accepting the reality that it is she's no longer here. But then there are moments still where, holidays come, or you're laughing, or we're sitting around telling stories, and I will, I'm always looking at how my kids are responding, how they are reacting. But then I can also look up and say, oh man, we went this whole day on this holiday, on this thing, or Christmas, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, all of these things, these days that are celebratory and fun, and like, oh shoot, I didn't think about her today. Or I wonder if the kids thought about her today. Let me go and check on them and see if they're okay. Should we be allowed to grieve and have fun at the same time? Should we be allowed to remember and have fun at the same time? Like, we should. Like, and that's the thing, we're like, men in particular, we sit there and we hold that, and we kind of carry that guilt with us.
Yeah.
Unfairly in a lot of cases, right? Of whether this is something letting go. Does it letting go or moving forward mean again, do you let go of the memories? Do you let go of that person, and who gives you the pass to have fun?
So when this has come up with your now wife, what is the response? What is the mood? If there is a reflection on,
You know, I mean,
what?
it's a good question, because I feel like she's done great at embracing the moments when we should be okay, or when there is a uncomfortable moment, and it's just like, oh man, yeah, Janice should have been at this graduation.
Yeah.
That would have been nice if she was here.
Yeah.
Right. And Janice, you know, there's times that, you know, Jordan, my wife now, will look at me and say, we should check on Zaya today, or we should check on, you know, Jackie, and
Meaning
I wonder,
children.
yeah,
That you have Janice.
how are they dealing with that today?
Yeah.
Like, even though it's this time, like, I think you present it and you make it available, but you don't make it like this anchor that weighs everybody down.
Yeah.
But, and I think that's how do you bring it into the present day as time continues to progress in a way that is still healthy?
Yeah.
Like, you don't make it this kind of taboo thing. You make it something that exists, and you recognize that sometimes, you know, sometimes you ask the kids and you're like, how you dealing with to the house today? Going,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm good. You sure? You need anything? No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was I think that's a good contrast between the immediate and then kind of the distant loss. Yeah.
You said something to me before about the sense of freedom and maybe regaining it or reclaiming it, that the joy and happiness, that's that freedom that is yours.
Yeah.
And that you're allowed to reclaim that again.
Oh yeah.
I liked how you said it. Did you want to say any more about it?
No, I mean, it's a true thing. Freedom, and I use the reference to kind of anchors, because anchors hold you down. Anchors keep you in place. And freedom is, you know, being able to be free to find joy, being able to be free to express joy. Like, grief is a natural thing you're going to feel, but so is joy. Sadness is a natural thing of losing somebody, but so is the joy of every other moment. And if we stifle ourselves in the smallest joy or the biggest joy, like, what are you really doing to everybody else around you? What are you doing to your own natural progress? So you have to be free to have all of these feelings.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to talk about in the healthy ways.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I mean, I think that was something that I know I personally felt like I didn't want to feel like there were people or anything restricting my ability to go through my process, go through the evolution.
Right.
You know,
to feel normal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Whatever normal
Whatever
is.
that
Normal
is.
is going to be different,
Yeah.
but it's you've got to get the closest to it as possible.
I mean, you're definitely different from all of the loss and experience and solving things quickly and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So mine is more recent in dating and feeling that's okay. Because in previous episodes, I talked about feeling like an imposter.
Yeah.
That I'm not allowed to have another relationship after Nalani had passed. That others aren't ready.
Right.
And I may not be ready because I had to kind of get myself up for it.
Yeah.
To go and see the person I'm dating and do the things that we do, because I'm still the guy who was married for 17 plus years and this whole life and children and the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the first time I really felt it, this sense of joy, but feeling kind of guilty about it, or I should say, you know, just really getting that sense of having fun and enjoying myself and really laughing, is when we went up to one of our favorite Mid-Hudson Valley locations. I went up with the woman I was dating, and we had gotten a house, and we were there a week, and so we had our own activities to start. Going to this cafe in the morning, and with that breeze and that wonderful clean air that's different from where we live is decent too.
Yeah.
But it sure feels that.
Oh, is
because you're traveling
Yeah.
to some place, and
fresh air?
right,
Fresh air feels better.
in your mind you think, oh, it's the air's got to be fresher there.
Yeah.
You had to travel to that place.
Exactly.
So and just that, and just sitting at the cafe in public,
Mm-hmm.
laughing, just telling stories others could hear whatever we're laughing about, and feeling comfortable with that. And so we're doing that, and the dinners, and when the sun comes down, that we went on, before the sun went down, we went on this hike that was pretty steep. And I didn't realize how tough it would be for her.
You didn't tell her to bring the camel back and the
Exactly. And the right hiking shoes. She had some sneakers. I had my hiking shoes. Like,
Yeah.
I think you don't need hiking shoes. No, whatever. All right. And it was a real scurry up through rocks and boulders. Like, I'm gonna die. I said, no, you'll be fine. Just look up, don't look down. That kind of thing. So it was one of those things. So just to have that kind of life.
you got her rappelling off the side of the cliff.
Exactly. And the payoff is great because the view is incredible.
Yeah.
And down the Hudson River and all like that.
Yeah.
And so we had those days. Then you and Jordan came.
Yeah.
And then other friends of ours, couples, came. We had that wonderful breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody laugh and have a good old time and what have you.
Yeah.
Then to walk off all that food that we had.
Oh yeah.
And to show off the town and
the
everywhere.
donuts.
The donuts. That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That we were walking, and I purposely, the two sense of joy and laughter that I got in that situation, I kind of hung back on purpose to watch you all, you and Jordan and our other friend Phil and Christina,
Yeah.
hold hands and just walk and point out things and laugh to one another.
Yeah.
And that brought me so much joy to do that. And then for me, I'm holding this woman's hand. It's a very public podcast.
Yeah, it's announcing.
It's announcing that I'm with this person and I'm happy and I can laugh.
Right.
But I still had to second guess it. Am I ready for all of that now?
Right.
So,
Right. And do they know?
and do they know?
Yeah.
Right. Do folk know my story?
Mm-hmm.
You always, right.
Yeah.
You always have that sense of it. Who knows my story? Am I allowed to do this? But then it's also some of my other friends is understanding, hey, I've progressed to this level.
Yeah.
It's also kind of them witnessing that.
Right.
Not only you and Jordan, who would understand a lot more,
Yeah.
but Phil and Christina, or some of the other couples who are my core universe.
Yeah. Who knew you as this previous
Just like,
partnership, and now seeing you publicly go out into this
right.
new, start this new phase, and they're asking, you're wondering, I wonder if they think it's okay.
Right.
But then it's also you thinking, wait, is it okay?
Right.
Is it all right? I
Right.
don't know. I mean, what are they thinking? I don't know what they're thinking. But now I'm thinking, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it's, So you're all of these added things to make you second guess that just this thing that feels good.
Yeah.
This new joy that feels like it's the right time and it's okay. That's causing you to second guess it.
Yeah. Well, and really, the theme we're kind of pulling from this is the reality is that this is a connection between pain and love. That's what we're driving toward right now. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, somewhere in your mind, it starts to feel like I'm not hurting. And if I'm not hurting, am I not honoring this person?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm not hurting right now, this deep pain that I used to have. So does that mean that I'm wrong?
Right.
Does it mean that I'm not respecting and properly? Right. It creates those.
It's a tough place to sit.
Yeah.
Because no decision is fully made in any direction. You have to just sit with it and you just kind of continue on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, where it shows up, right? It starts to show up in the small moments, right? It starts to show up in the casual visit, the casual trip to a comedy club, right? To watch a comedian and laugh. And it's going to be, laughing, relaxing, just normal feeling, right? That the point where you get to, and I can remember this feeling, the point where you wake up and your day feels less heavy than it did the day
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
Right. And less heavy isn't a significant, it's a significant change because it means that you're adjusting to loss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you're also getting closer to a new normal.
Yeah.
Right. Which is life with loss. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, you start checking yourself in those situations and then you're, wait, am I moving too fast? Wait, should I pull back?
Right.
Kind of this momentum, this progress that's going.
And I remember in those moments you go to, at least for me, I remember going to my counselor and being like, I woke up today and I didn't feel this deep thing. And she's just like, that's okay. And I'm like, are you sure? This can't be right. This can't be right. Yeah, right. Right. Like, I didn't think about the loss immediately when I woke up. When I got in the bathroom, I thought about it.
Yeah.
When I stared in the mirror, I got in it. But I didn't think of it when I rolled over.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's the part where.
Yeah. This is where it shows up. And it's that time with friends, time with a new partner, having new laughs with kind of a new partner.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I think the other one, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, is watching your kids learn to be happy. Right. 8 years later, even before that, these moments where we overthink all the time. Are our kids happy? Are they okay? And when you see them being able to be okay.
Yeah.
And being able to laugh with their friends, and then that it comes up then.
Yeah.
And
I think this is a paradox, I think, a little for us, those who have lost, is that you could be fully present and then you just suddenly pull back.
Yes.
And that's where it shows up as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to allow yourself, because those you are with, you may have to explain that to them to some degree, but those who know you and love you, they'll understand.
And I think that's something, right? Some people talk about, are you still grieving, and are you still wearing this heavy loss? And I think there's a part of it, even for new partners, like when we start the dating phase, and even later down into where you have to explain to people, your partners, sometimes your friends, where you are and why.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I had a moment today where I thought about this day that their mom should be there.
Yep.
Or the last time we did this type of thing, it just kind of triggered a quick thought. Not this quick thought of deep loss and deep pain, but just like a glimpse, a glimmer, this thing that happened. Wow. Like, I remember that. And that's all right.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that you're falling back into the deep depression or the deep pain of loss. It just means that you're going to have memories.
Yeah. And I think to kind of close that out is what you had said earlier about just realizing you go their stretch of time.
Yeah.
Not thinking about that loss.
Yeah.
That's progress.
Yeah.
That's not forgetting.
Yeah.
But it's actually moving forward in a way that makes sense.
What surprised you in this process? I think that's kind of one of the things that, like, what are the things that do surprise you?
Yeah. What surprised me, I thought feeling better would feel good, like all the time,
right?
Type. But
right.
that I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of a confusing. It's like this it's confusing balance of joy and loss, right? Reflection,
And what really surprised me that we're talking about now is that feeling good can feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it surprised me. I don't know how long it will last, or I don't know if there is a time frame on any of that necessarily.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay that feeling good could feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's my new reality.
And I think that if you think about that, how quickly that can turn, right? Like how quickly that moment can turn into not joy or you fighting joy, right? Like that's an important thing to recognize, because you have to be, I think you have to be able to name it. Like they always say, like, name things.
Yeah.
Like, be able to name it. Like, wait, why did this thing just turn from me being happy to me fighting the happiness and not letting it just flow?
Yeah.
I think that is it can happen so quickly that people will pick that up. Your kids will pick it up, and you have to be able to name it as quickly as you can so that you can kind of like get through it, accept it, and keep going. But
that kind of accept your own happiness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the fact that like you question your own happiness, like you always say, I gotta focus on my happiness. I gotta focus on be happy. But it's almost counterintuitive because you're not. Right? Like you're questioning it. You're like, wait, no. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I shouldn't be happy. Maybe maybe I should fight this thing. And that's a struggle. Like it makes you, kind of puts you in a weird place.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I mentioned to you one time that I had said that I'm not happy, but I find moments of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's okay. And it can surprise you in some ways.
Yeah.
But there's still a direction that you are headed and not staying in the same place.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. Like again, we're not saying you have to be happy. Right. Like we're not saying at all like you should make sure you're happy by any means necessary. No, what we're saying is like when those moments come, because grief, loss is an unhappy situation. Right. It can be, and it should be this element of sadness, which is fine. But when it becomes and starts working to like the moments of joy, like that's okay to let those moments in. And if they can be the moment, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 hours, okay, when it's gone and you get back into like, man, but I'm still sad about this thing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's always going to be there.
It's going to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The intensity, missing the intensity of grief in those certain moments, right? Back to that point, like the intensity of the grief in the beginning will fade over time. And these moments, letting those moments that we just talked about come in and bring you a laughter, bring you joy, let you experience, some good memories with family and friends today. I think that's important to do, because if you sulk and go into the constant sulking experience, like, if you get too used to that, that's the part where you find yourself stuck.
Yeah.
Right. And you find yourself like knee deep into that sadness. And I think that's a hard place to get out of.
And that's where you may need to seek some other help in that situation to kind of get through that. And then the other thing that kind of surprised me is that others might expect you to be happy again before you're ready.
Yeah.
And they haven't been in that situation, so I think that's difficult to assign a time when, but that sense of that others might expect you to be happy again before you're actually ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think
looks like.
Yeah, and I think this is it ties a little bit to the next thing that we were talking about was like that progress doesn't always feel like progress, and it may not feel like progress to yourself, but let alone it also may not feel like progress from those people who were thinking you should be happier sooner.
Yeah.
Right. Or that you should be handling it differently. And I think a lot of times it's people, especially with people who haven't been in it, they can say, well, if I was David or if I was Jamal, this is how I would handle it. I would move this thing faster, or I would move this thing slower. And I think we always talk about everybody's perspectives are different. I try, like personally, like even with your situation, I don't judge where you should be based off of where I was.
Right.
I'm like, hey, like our conversations and me understanding where you are, and hey, man, I get that.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't. Like maybe you have a different experience than me, and that's the thing about like everybody's path to happiness is going to look different.
Sure.
And feel different for everybody.
Yeah.
I think another, we talked about the surprises, but like the struggles.
Yeah.
I know where I struggled, with just kind of letting the moment be the moment was in those experiences with joy, just letting it be what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not trying to overthink. I overthought joy. So not just for myself, but for the kids.
Yeah.
Right. There were times that when Jordan and I first started dating, and I was like out, and to your point, you talked about the public holding hands, but even just this, like the deep laughter with somebody else, with a new person,
right?
Event that you're interested in, like, how like struggling with like that aspect of, wow, this feels good. this is so wrong. I should have been laughing this hard. I shouldn't want to, wait, I want to text her already? Oh my gosh, I just left.
Right.
I should,
Like in dating and
the
fighting for
process.
somebody.
Yeah, falling for somebody. Like, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I did struggle with that. And then, even with the kids, like struggling with how are they doing? Okay, we're going out, we're eating dinner at this restaurant that we used to go to with their mom. Like, that's how are they doing? Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
How are the French fries? Are you okay?
Right. Just say anything to make sure everything's all right.
How's the burger? Do you like the burger? Your mom liked the burger.
Is it well done?
You like it? Yeah.
Man, I'm the same way with you there, because it's this analyzing the situation instead of just experiencing it.
Yeah.
You just got to experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So just like letting myself stay good in the moment.
Yeah.
Not overthinking everything.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah, and I like this one in the sense of the struggle. Just think about it this way: it's just you're reconciling joy with the loyalty to who has passed.
Yeah,
and that's fine, because your late wife wants you to be happy and move on, and laugh and not feel guilty about that.
She wants the kids. She wants the kids to be happy. She wants you to be happy. I doubt, in majority of cases, that there's a spouse out there that has damned you to sadness. Like,
well, I don't know if they'll mark it as sadness. It's you just can't be with anybody else.
Yeah.
Period. What kind of rule is that you have? That's another episode.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
And then, accepting that life has to continue, right? And life has to continue. We set out on this path in life to find happiness and be the best people who we can be. And if we have children, be as supportive as we can and make them healthy adults. And like that process has to continue, and finding happiness and being happy is part of that.
Trusting it's okay to feel okay.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yep. And then the last, balancing remembrance with moving forward. Like, it's going to be these things where it's okay to reflect. It's okay to remember, recall, think back. But I think it's all part of the process. And then, comparing yourself to where you think you should be, that makes it worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
or what people expect
from
you. I mean, I think that's a tough way to go. And I think that's really what can make it worse. It's just that believing pain is the only way to stay connected to that past that you had. It has to be a part of you. It always will be, but that may hinder moving forward.
And then comparing like where you think you should, where you are in your process of grieving, where you are in your process of accepting joy, comparing that to where you believe you should be. I think it's hard because there is no timeline. Everybody's timeline is different. You go to any grief counselor, any professional therapist, they will tell you that it's kind of fluid for everybody. I always defer back to, as long as it feels healthy and it doesn't feel like you're harming yourself or others, then it's probably okay. But I think those are things you should just don't try to compare. It's not a race.
Yeah, and this anchor you talk about is you don't have to levy the guilt tied to moving forward.
Yeah.
Especially in dating.
Yeah.
Especially in trying to find joy and with someone else, because some person probably has their story as well, their burden, their sense of loss, and their also sense of connection.
Yeah.
And it's not clean for anybody, because we all, especially at a certain age, you have lived in life experience. So you can't tie that guilt if you're trying to move forward.
Yeah. Do you remember do you remember the P90, not the P90X, the mask? Was that mask that everybody was wearing back in thinking, and it was
P90X was that exercise.
The mask. It was around the same time with the mask came out, where people were wearing the mask to raise their oxygen level and simulated the like this. There's this element of accepting and letting in joy. Where it feels like wearing that mask, right? Like, like you're constraining your breathing. Some strange science says constrain your breathing and you'll force your blood to be carrying oxygen. But the logic of like constraining your joy to get through a healthy grieving process, it's the same thing, right? Like you cannot suppress your joy, right, through this process, because that's not going to help you grieve better. It's not going to help you get through this process. So that's the one thing that I remember thinking that, because I remember around the time for my loss, there was, when Janice passed, it was maybe like a couple years before that mask had come out, and I would see people running around with it in Texas, 100 degrees. I'm like, you're running around in Texas with this mask, and it just reminded me of like, if I don't let joy in, if I suppress it, I'm not going to be effective. I'm not going to have, good workouts, let alone be good for my kids.
Right. They may have to visit you in the hospital. Yes, you have low oxygen in your blood. That's what's going to be. So yeah, man. I think this sense of feeling judged, that by others and yourself, the greatest critic. That's what makes it worse. That's a tough one. You got to move,
and it's hard to feel. And this part is hard because it's a double-edged sword. You don't want to feel judged. But you're supposed to be talking to people, and it's healthy to talk to people, but you don't want to feel judged by them. So you have to find, obviously, the healthy people, the healthy relationships, the people who are going to really be open to listening to what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And like I always say, like, you've got to be careful about who you share this with, who you talk to your feelings with. Find somebody who you could trust, for sure. But, don't worry about feeling judged, and then also make sure you're talking about it.
And I think what helped, I think we can speak to this personally, and then also for those kind of listening and watching to us, is it's letting moments happen without shutting them down. You're gonna learn something through that, and then you're gonna realize how resilient I think you are too. So let those moments happen without kind of stopping that situation. You're going to learn more. You already have proved you can move forward, but this if you've gone through all this other, you'll get through this moment as well.
And then we always talk about the guilt. You always feel the guilt. It's a part of the process. So understand why it's there. So take the time to let that guilt in, understand why you feel that way, process it. But it's a part of that transition, right? You're going to feel that, and it's going to gradually feel normal. And you have to get to the point where you're like thinking, okay, here's this moment of joy that I felt. Here's this question that I'm feeling. This moment that I'm feeling like, man, like maybe I shouldn't have this, and then that's okay, right?
But back to what you said earlier, I think it's you really have to reframe this sense of whether you are to have this joy. The person, Janice and Nalani, the late wives, and for you all, they want you to be happy. So you have to reframe this sense of joy.
And then, I think in reframing it, I think by talking to people who are willing to understand, willing to listen, and the people who do understand, right? Professional and otherwise, they're going to be those people in your life who are willing to sit there and listen to you process this. And sometimes they may have some good things to say and some helpful things to say, and sometimes they may just sit there and give you a hug as you process it, and that's fine, right? And I think it's important to have that, and then allowing all the emotions to exist. That's it. They're there. You're gonna feel them. You can't fight them. So embrace the emotions, try to process it, understand what it is, and I think that's all you can do.
Give yourself more time if you need it. That's what you have to do. You don't have to rush things. Things don't happen in some linear way, and that's just not how it's necessarily going to happen for you. And so if you're listening and you're feeling that way, where things kind of start to feel okay, and then you kind of start to question it.
That's not anything. That's not you doing anything wrong. That's just part of the process. That's the work that you have to do to get through this.
Yeah, exactly. Just as you said, it's part of the process. We'll Most people don't want to talk about it, but if you don't, it's going to fester.
It's going to talk to you if you don't.
That's right. It may talk to you in that hospital bed because your blood pressure's up, or the depression with the counselor, whatever the case may be. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think the way to think about this, and one of the things that I used to also struggle with a little bit is, what if the joy isn't moving on you too fast? Like, what if you're not letting it in fast enough, or if it's not coming? That's fine if it's not coming in fast, but like, you've got to, when it starts flowing in, just let it flow in, right? Let it be there.
Yeah. And as we talked about that framing before, is, well, what if this is an indication that you're starting to heal?
Oh no. Oh no, you're healing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you've got to heal.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's the way you have to look at it. Right. Like, that's part of the healing process, is finding joy and finding something else to go, and be motivated for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I think what really helped for me is just not overthinking it. Just let the moments that kind of happen. Don't overanalyze it. Just allow it to kind of unfold.
Yeah, and the guilt, like I said, the guilt's going to show up, but it's just part of the process. It's normal. Don't feel like you're dysfunctional because you're feeling guilty because you have joy. Don't feel like you're dysfunctional because you've escaped the guilt.
Yeah.
And embrace the joy. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, let the laughs come.
Yeah.
Let all of the joy that's coming in. Don't shut that down. You don't want to stop yourself from feeling okay, because that's the direction that you're trying to go.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, sometimes you won't have a lot of people singing the praise and celebrating the fact that you've moved in that process, but that's fine, right? Sometimes your voice is enough. Sometimes your perspective is enough. And I always, my barometer was always, the smiles on the kids' faces.
Yeah.
Like, if I felt like they were there and they were genuine, and I can feel that they were genuinely happy, then that allowed me to feel okay, embracing my own happiness.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of people won't get it. A lot of people are not in this situation, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there are a good amount of people who are going through this.
Yeah.
But some people won't get it, even those who are in it, because they're processing it. They're in different phases and different stages. I think that it's something that you got to deal with. But if you take anything from this,
you don't have to earn the right to feel okay again. I think that's how you have to kind of really address it and approach it.
Yeah, and the joy that you feel today, the way you find joy today and experience it, it doesn't mean that you're, abandoning the memories. It doesn't mean that you're betraying that person.
It may actually mean that you're able to carry that person forward, and with your kind of new life, essentially, you're enhanced and reborn to a great extent. So we would just really appreciate you all joining us again on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death.
After death.
Yes, that's what we're doing here.
It's a process, but you'll get there step by step.
Yeah. Like us, subscribe, tell everybody,
DM us,
do it all.
Telephone us, hit us with all the ratings, and we appreciate you joining us again. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for joining us on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death. If something in today's episode spoke to you, pass it on, because somebody out there needs to hear it.
For sure. We're on all the social mausoleums, so follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Mostly it will be in the form of Get Back Up Podcast.
And be sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast.
And remember, getting knocked down is part of life.
But getting back up is how we live.
We'll see y'all next time.